Yo, what is good? It is your boy Mal back at it once again with another episode of Behind the Panels. And yo, you know what, man? This is number 10. This is episode 10 right here. Give a small round of applause on that. You know what I mean? I didn't think we was going to get this far. Thankfully, we did. Thanks for all the love that y'all been showing. You know, supporting, listening, and sharing, man. It means a lot. But anyway, man, back on to, on today's episode, we sitting down with Marsh. He's got this dope story out. It's dark. It's gritty. It's called Figs. You know, at the time of shooting, matter of fact, I think his Kickstarter is still going. If not, it had just ended. But it's an intense story, man. If you could get on that, pause, make sure y'all pick that. Yeah, pick up a copy, man. It's wild, man. You know, he gives us the rundown, and I'm gonna keep it real. It's definitely gave me some Crow vibes, but on a different level. But yo, you be the judge of that. Anyway, you already know how we do, man. Like I said, and I keep saying, if you're liking what you're seeing, liking what you're hearing, like and subscribe to the channel. That means a lot. Also, man, don't forget to check out the website, villainarchives.com. You know what I mean? The merch, we always adding new merch, well, at least trying to. So make sure y'all check that out, the shadowrack.shop. And last but not least, plug before we start this episode, the Kickstarter for Chaos Theory issue 3 is launching in May. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all click the link to stay notified for when it drops. But yo, it's wild. It's a wild story. And the next issue only gets crazy after that, so make sure y'all pick up a copy. But anyway, on that note, man, let's get on with today's episode. All right, what is going on today, folks? We got a special guest today. We have Marsh, and we're going to talk about his new project. It's called Figs, correct? I seen the
Yes.
Kickstarter, and congratulations. It looks like it's already funded as well. All right.
Yes, thank you.
Nice. I mean, I was taking a look at that. You know, I was taking a look at some of the files you sent me, and yeah, I'm definitely interested in this project. It looks very dope. I like the artwork. Looks real gritty. Yeah, it got that little hint of color here and there, but it's real gritty, and I
Yeah.
love it. But before we dig into that, tell us a bit about yourself and a little bit about the project.
Well, I've been kind of having for Figs. I started the idea over 13 years ago. I had no
Okay.
idea how I wanted to do it. I'm not an artist, so the artist for Figs, his name is Sean Donaldson. He's worked on Dead Space 3. He's worked with Marvel. He's currently working
Oh
with a
wow.
project with Disney, or a company that works with
Nice.
Disney. Yeah, so like I found his. I went through 8 different artists, and I was about to give up on the
Hmm.
project. And I came across him. I'm like, okay, let me have you do the front cover. Let's see if you can get this character correct because no one else got anywhere even close.
Hmm.
And when he did this design, the front
Oh
cover of
wow.
the main character, I was like,
I like
this is the
that.
guy that I need to hire.
Oh no, I like that, and it looks like it's paying off, man. The artwork is
Oh yeah.
chef's kiss over there. It's amazing. It is beautiful. It's. I feel like I haven't really seen something like this, and that's one of the first things that definitely caught my eye. And like I said, it's just a little splash of color here and there.
Yeah.
I think it does wonders. So what inspired the story?
It was a lot actually. Because my favorite movie growing up was The Crow, and like this movie
Oh
is so
yes,
well
love that
done.
movie. I
And
love
it's
that
like
movie.
we don't get many comic book movies that give that dark gothic
Hmm.
feel, and
That's.
it has like almost
Hmm.
a black and white type of feel based off the
Yeah.
camera. So I was like, what if I create my own comic book character? Started
Hmm.
off where it was gonna be like a Jason Voorhees, like all just main character is evil. And I'm like, no, he's got to be a good guy. How do I make him a good guy? So
Yeah.
13 years of putting a whole plot together. And finally, when I was like, there's nothing else to add, I have every detail figured out to the very last page of the entire
Hmm.
series. I'm like, I have to do this now.
Nice. That's. I knew there was something familiar about it. That I love The
Yeah.
Crow. One of my favorite
Oh,
movies. I can't even tell you how many times I've seen that movie. Matter of fact, I just watched
same.
it again like about a month ago, and And now it makes sense. Now that you mentioned that, I
Yeah.
see it. And I was,
Yeah.
and now I'm putting the piece together. I'm like, yeah, yeah, okay, all right. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. Definitely, definitely. And I was reading. You planning 40 issues of this story?
Probably more than 40 issues
Wow,
because
nice.
so issue one is 40 pages, issue two is going to be 60 pages.
Hmm.
So I was trying to do the math, and because Figs is going to be one story, there's a character in Figs called Franklin. He's going to have a prequel story, and then there's a character called
Okay.
Christian. On the very first page, Christian is a young kid that gets ran over, and he's going to be not only a very important character to this story, but he's going to have his own story after Figs.
Okay. Okay. I'm feeling it. So you're kind of gonna put like an extended kind of universe together
Yes.
with the fig. Nice, nice. I like that. I like that. I like building like that. I like universe building. Where you kind of you get a little extra than the main story. I'm loving that. Loving that concept. I mean, so who's this comic for? Is it tailored more towards adult or a more mature audience, or can kids read this? You know what I'm
Definitely do
saying?
not recommend for kids. It's not going to have much like nudity or sex. There will be like sexual scenes in it,
Yeah.
but because of the story being told, with issue number two, it's heavily for adults. Like we're not even saying 18 plus, we're doing 21 plus
Okay.
because the second issue opens up to a young girl for 15 to 17 pages. You're watching her die. You
Oh
know she's
wow.
gonna die. It's rough. Page one, she's watching her parents do heroin in front of her.
Oh
And
wow.
it's like think about Batman being in a much more realistic universe without
Hmm.
no one has superpowers. I like Batman, but the only problem though is they don't have the balls to actually kill off someone young.
Hmm.
Like they'll do it, but they
Yeah.
don't actually show it. This
Yeah.
is gonna be
I'm
like,
digging that. I'm
yeah, it's
digging
gonna
that.
be like what breaks a character to become
Hmm.
more like the Punisher in a way.
Yeah.
So if
Oh, no,
Batman became the
I'm definitely
Punisher,
digging that. Definitely digging that. Yeah, man. I love that concept, man. Like that's kind of how I write, man. I try to keep it different. Like I grew up in New York, so I try to bring that real New York to the audience. I didn't grow up in no metropolis looking New
yeah,
York. I grew up
it
where
wasn't nice.
crackheads, violence,
Yeah,
you name it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember walking past crackheads passed out in the street, just going to school. Like that's the New York I'm familiar with. So I love that concept where you bringing that realism to the story. So that's definitely dope. So aside from that, what separates your comic from not only what's out there as far as mainstream, but what you can see from like from other indie artists.
so what I've seen a lot is a lot of people kind of follow the same, same formula.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not really any progression. A lot of artists do, even with my biggest problem, like indie artists doing this, that's fine because low budget. But when it's a big company, uh, is artwork. I have
Yeah.
read a lot of more recent Marvel, especially DC, where I'm like, you're a multi, billion-dollar company, and
Mm-hmm.
your artwork throughout the pages, there's not much to look at.
Yeah.
And that's what I
Mm-hmm.
wanted with Figs, where every page you're reading, but then you're double going over and you're admiring the artwork. You're
Oh yeah.
understanding the story.
You definitely got that unlocked so far. I'll tell you that. Like
Heck,
just off the scroll, off the Kickstarter, I'm like, all right, okay. I'm liking the concept. I've seen a lot of black and white, drawn comics, but this is something like I said, there was something different, and I'm feeling
yeah.
that crow vibe here. Definitely good job on that one.
Heck.
Definitely a
Oh,
good job
that's
on
all
that
my
one.
artists. I could not do it without him.
Oh yeah, no. Tell your artist, man. Kudos to him. Like, let me give a round of applause to him because I know how it feels to want to put out a project and you're working with different artists and it's just not they're just not hitting. They're not getting. It's and it's nothing bad to them. They just not
Yeah.
hitting your
It's not
your
your
your vision.
style.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you kind of start to be like, you know what, am I wasting my time? But then that one artist comes, and you're like, okay, now we could go to the kitchen because we're cooking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like that. So I mean, so how did this idea go from concept to actual, an actual comic?
I'm trying to figure out how to answer that. So just like I had it written out. If you have, I think over here somewhere, I did have. Right here it is. Yeah, it's just a whole book that I just spent years
Okay.
kind of like filling in and writing all these
Yeah.
details.
Wow.
And then when I found the artist, like my drawings are absolutely terrible. Like this is the best that I can draw and just
That's
give it
that's about
details.
better than mine. It's better than mine.
Oh man, if that's better than yours, I got to see yours now.
Like if I could even draw straight lines on my stick figures, I'm that's an accomplishment. Like that's why I feel like when I'm talking to an artist, I wish I could even draw a little bit just so I could really show them
Yeah,
exactly what I'm looking for. But a lot of the times, they nail it. And I also, I like to give them a lot of creative freedom with it too. Like, I
yeah,
know I'm a writer. I'm a creator. No way I'm an artist. So I leave the artwork. I This is what I got. This is what I envision. You make that, see what you can cook with that, and I kind of allow them to, let me see what you come up with, and we'll tweak it from there if it's close enough, and if not, we'll find something else. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll go with somewhere else. But so you were the creator and the writer, correct? You wrote the
yes.
whole story. Nice, nice, nice. That's what's up. That's what's up. Like, do you now? How many artists you working with? Just one? Do you work with multiple
Uh,
artists? Um,
so I have two artists. So Sean, he's working on Figs, and then I can't remember how to pronounce the other guy's name.
yeah.
Jafuni, he's working on another comic that I got called Overkill.
Okay, all right. And what's that? Any like do the stories kind of cross over or completely
Nope.
separate
Uh, com
stories?
Yeah, completely separate. So Overkill is a cyberpunk horror sci-fi robot comic. So
Okay,
issue one starts off where it's the late 1980s, early 1990s. World War III is kicking off. What's crazy is a lot of stuff that I actually wrote we're actually seeing currently right now
mm-hmm.
with with just like different war attacks and all of
Yeah,
that.
mm-hmm.
So military, no one wants to enlist in the military anymore because it's just all nuclear warfare. They're gonna
Yeah.
die. Military
Okay.
creates a robot called the Rebel 6. It has capabilities of repairing itself, building new versions of itself, and adaptive learning. It uses AI. So they send it
Nice.
out. They send it out into the war, and it's just slaughtering everyone. If one goes down, two more are going to replace it, pretty much.
That's
So,
that's crazy. That's a dope concept. That's definitely a dope concept.
have you ever seen the 1990s horror movie called Hardware?
No, no, doesn't ring a bell. Doesn't ring a
Uh,
bell. But I mean,
so
I've smoked so much and watched so many movies. Who knows? You know what I'm
it's
saying? Like probably.
it's definitely a hard to find movie, but I was like so
Okay.
inspired about the robot character design. But the movie is
All
like
right.
is a low budget,
Mhm.
goofy kind of movie. Like, what if I
Sometimes those are the
improve
best
this?
movies.
Oh, it is.
Sometimes
It's
those are the
so
best movies.
enjoyable.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now, is the first issue out, or you're currently working on the first issue?
Currently working on the first issue. We have it set to release August 5th. It will be 20 pages long, but
Okay.
very graphic. We have a robotic gorilla where it's going to go up to a bear and rip the jaw straight off of the bear.
Nice, nice,
Yeah.
nice, nice. Now, is this gonna be all black and white, or this is gonna be, with colors more traditional?
This one's gonna be all black and white. It's like a much more
Okay.
sketchy style, and then
Mm-hmm.
just because I felt that doing it that way creates a much more darker, grittier, and then the only
Yeah.
thing in color will be like the blood being a dark red.
Okay. All right. And for that project, how many issues you plan on coming out for that one?
Uh, we're not too sure yet. We want to do probably just stick it to a one volume
Okay.
series, and then probably do a another series
Mm-hmm.
related where it'll be like Overkill, but a much more cyberpunk futuristic feel.
Nice.
So like what if
All right.
like the movie or the video game series Cyberpunk was just all robots?
Okay. All right. So is Figs your first Kickstarter you launched?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. And how'd that work for you? Like, I mean, clearly you still got 8 days to go, and
Yeah.
you've already made your goal. But how was that experience? Putting, trying to get the fans together and just building up that fan base so you can successfully launch a Kickstarter.
I mean, it's stressful because I work three jobs right now. So I'm like
Wow.
working 90 hours a week trying to, when me and Sean were trying to put together the Kickstarter, we're figuring out what add-ons we wanted, trying to get people, excuse me, the first 2 days were great. We got like $400 and then the Kickstarter
Nice.
just went dead. And then
Mm.
we got some more followers, but they're mostly Sean's followers.
All right, we're back. Had a little technical difficulty. Some reason I could hear myself, but I wasn't seeing my camera. But anyway, so yeah, man, about the Kickstarter. Um, you said you kind of went, it did good in the beginning and kind of went flat, but it's kind of good that you got the other followers because now those are new people that are going to be watching your projects and they're going to get the second, third, fourth, fifth, so on and so forth, man. That's pretty good, man. I definitely kudos to you on that, man. You got a great project so far, man. Like like any anything you realized when putting this together you weren't expecting, like run into any issues or anything like that when you were trying to put this campaign together?
Um, Trying to figure out Kickstarter because I've never used it before was pretty tough
Mm-hmm.
because I saw that I got everything done. All right, ready to launch, and then found out that there's like a pre-launch thing you have to do versus a launching. I'm like, okay, well that's fun. So I had to redo the whole project, and then had to redo the project again because I accidentally put
Mm-hmm.
$10,000 instead of 1,000. So it's a
Oh
lot
wow.
of like repeating steps. I'm like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
but finally we
Oh
got it
yeah,
done
yeah.
and we got followers, so we're funded. We're funded.
Nice. Yeah, I'm starting to, piece together my Kickstarter, and I'm just like, oh man, there's a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Like,
so much
what do I
information.
add? Yeah, it's like, what do I add? What do I offer? Like, I'm really trying to, like, oh man, I gotta make this money. I mean, the comic's
Yeah.
done, but you always want to make more so you could fund the next one. You know what I'm saying? Instead of
Yes.
having to come out of pocket, and it could be a pain in the ass, and then the whole, oh man, I hope this works out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope
That
this works out. Like, like I hope, I think I got something good here now. I just need y'all to recognize it.
that's where I'm at. It's like it's done, it's out there. Just please people buy it. It
Mm.
cost $8,000 to make one issue.
It's expensive.
And the
It's
printing.
expensive. Oh, printing's, it went up from when,
Oh,
you know pre-COVID. I was printing like a 24-page book at like three and a quarter.
yeah.
Now it's almost $6. I'm like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, that
Yeah.
definitely cuts into my profits.
Yeah, I got 100
Because you also
issues.
don't want to sell. Yeah, you don't want to, come off swinging your first comic book and expect people to pay $15 for, just the main cover.
Yeah.
It's kind of maybe a hard sell. You know what I'm saying? Like, opposed to like $10, $7 or something like that. And it's just like, Jesus, this is gonna get intense.
And then you have all those people that are like, "Can I get a free comic?" No, it costs money.
Yeah, man, it costs a lot of money. A lot,
Yeah.
especially when you're working with higher caliber artists. It costs money. It definitely
Yeah.
costs money. The cost now is way more than it was. Like I said, pre-COVID. Pre-COVID, I could put together a comic between 1 and 2 grand. Now, forget about it. That's getting me just the pencils and inks. Like, that's not even getting me color. That's not
Yes.
even getting me nothing else. Just just black and white pages is all that's getting me at this point for like 2 grand. It gets expensive, and
Yeah.
sometimes that could be a little disconcerting and make you, like, why am I even doing this? But Sometimes it's worth it. It's especially when people start loving it, and which I don't see an issue here, man. You got something going with this one. I could definitely see this turning into something.
I
You know,
appreciate that. Thank
yeah.
you.
Nah,
Uh,
yo, absolutely.
I always say like because this when it's tough, especially working on a project, don't do it for other
Mm-hmm.
people. Do it for yourself, and
Do it for yourself. Mm-hmm.
that's why you keep going.
Oh yeah, because if you're doing it for other people, it's like, what am I doing this for? Who are they? I'm not making the money. It's just stressful. Like, why should I? So doing it for yourself is very rewarding because it's like, wow, I did this. You know what I'm
I
saying?
made
Like,
that.
I made this. Yeah, like, even if you do just one,
Yeah.
I made the one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did that. I put in the hard work. I put up all the funding. I, went through whatever you went through. You know what I'm saying? Like, because, I think we all, in some way, have horror stories of working on a project. I mean, I've said it plenty of times. I've got scammed. I've lost tons of money, but you live, you learn, and you move on, you know?
And it
You
sucks
know?
too when you get
Now,
scammed.
oh man, and it was my first, very beginning. I had my story ready to go. It's time to look for an artist, and I get scammed off for it. I'm like, well, that's not, that's not a good thing. Like, Jesus Christ, I didn't have my the first artist that I was like, you know what? I like your style. I feel like you could definitely put this together. 11 months went by. I got 2 pages.
Uh,
And I paid him half up front.
I'll be honest
For like 20 pages.
I'll be honest with Sean. I almost fired him because the front cover took 6 months to get, and I was just
Hmm.
like, dude, if you don't give me this soon, I don't know what I'm like. I can't work with you. And then finally he delivered, and then he's like, sorry, man, I've just been
Yeah.
busy, and he's been better.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I mean, I get it if you're busy, but you know,
communication.
that long, a year. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all about communication, especially if I don't hear, like me, I try not to, I don't really bother with the artist. I know it takes a lot of work. You're doing what you do, but if I don't hear from you in like a week or two, then it's like, what's up? Like, what's going on? Show me something,
Yeah.
like anything. Show me a leg, something. Like, show me anything that you've gotten, any progress, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Like, I had one artist, they took a little bit of time, and when they finally sent it to me, I'm like, this is not anything
Not anywhere close.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
like, you were way out the park with this one. Like, not even in a good way. Like, this is not it. And, it sucks because you feel like you've lost so much time
Yeah.
to start over. And that's a pain in the ass, starting over, especially when you're hyped. And, now you starting to plan things. And now it's like, I still have nothing. I have absolutely nothing. And it's crazy, man. So, I mean, and like, what was the hardest process for you of just putting this whole project together from beginning to now? Like, what was your biggest headache?
God, so I went on a Facebook group called Connecting Comic Book Artists and Writers. I'm like, okay, let me
I
just
think I'm in that
see.
group.
Is that probably how we like interacted?
Probably,
Gotcha.
yeah.
I'm,
Because
I'm
the
in
name of the
like
group sounds familiar.
I'm in like 13 comic book groups right now, just like please check
Yeah.
out Figs. But like I put this ad out 2 years ago. I'm like just looking for an artist, and I was like, send me your resumes
Hmm.
first. And I'm curious if it was the same thing for you, where people will send you their
Hmm.
resume, beautiful artwork, and then come to
Yeah,
find out not their artwork at all. There's like I could draw like that, but that's not your artwork.
yeah,
But I could draw like that,
yeah.
but you don't. There is one artist
Oh yeah.
there
Hmm.
was one artist I hired her, and she sent me an image, and I said, hey, I think you sent this to the wrong person. And she goes, no, this is for Figs. And I think I still have the image. I'll have to send you it on Facebook after this. But it's the funniest thing. It's like this little short dude that's fat with a cane smiling, and the whole thing is like, I think he's even green himself, and it's like a kid's book, and I'm like, no, this is not fixed. She goes, well, it's a kid's book. No, no, it's not. It's like people are going to die horribly. And she's like, well, I personally feel that you should make it a kid's book so you can get bigger audience. I'm not
Oh
rewriting this
wow.
story. No. I literally laughed in her face. I'm like, not listening to you. You're
Hmm.
fired. Bye.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's funny. Like cater to them instead of them catering to you.
Yeah.
That's horrible. I mean, I always whenever I'm looking for somebody, first what I do is I'll just I'll just scroll through all the groups. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Before I even make a post. If I see something I like, some artwork, because so many people post and everyone's
Yeah.
always posting their stuff on theirs. It's kind of like you're just saving yourself time. And oh, you know what? I like that. I don't like, And then if I don't find nobody, I'll make a post. But I've gotten some crazy images back, like some that are so way off, way out of the park. Like I don't do manga. I make it
Yeah.
known. I don't do manga stories. I don't. And I love to read them, but that's not what I'm writing.
Yeah.
And this one artist sent me this artwork. I'm like, that is so way out of what I'm trying to what I'm doing. Like this is like pretty manga for like tweens. Like no, like writing a story where people get shot and killed. And you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like just like you said, like no, it's too pretty for me. I'm not looking for pretty. I'm looking for gritty.
Like,
And it is what it is at that point.
you respect the hustle, but at the same time, if they know that this isn't it's like going to a restaurant. I would like one hamburger, please. Here's a
Hmm.
pizza. That's not what I
Yeah,
ordered. Like, I love pizza, but I want a
yeah,
hamburger.
yeah, exactly. And I don't care how good the pizza is. It's not what I want.
Yeah.
Maybe later. Maybe for tomorrow's meal I want pizza, but right now I want that burger and I want it done right. you know. I mean, it is what it is. There's a lot of hungry artists out there, and especially you deal with a lot of overseas artists, and
Yeah.
they just wanna get work, get work, get work. But sometimes it's not what you're looking for, and sometimes, like I said, you got those scammers that are like, oh, I can draw like that. Then show me something that you have drawn like that.
Yes.
Don't show me somebody else's artwork. Especially now, you got to deal with even worse. Now you got to deal with AI.
Mm.
People sending you AI work, and then it's like, great. You know what I'm saying? Like I could, if I wanted to go that route, I can do this. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't, I need authentic. You drew this with with your hand, your time, your energy. You just didn't type out a prompt. I had someone submit me AI work, and I'm like, sorry, no
Well,
way. Like, no, no,
one
no,
thing I told
no,
both of
far
my
from it.
artists too is that they have to film themselves drawing the artwork so I know it's not AI.
Hmm.
Because even Sean,
Yeah.
like one of the posts that I made, people accused for Figs issue number two, I think it's the front cover. They're like, this is clearly
Hmm.
AI. I go, nope, here's the video. Here's Sean actually drawing this stuff.
Hmm. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Like I gotta see it. Like matter of fact, I'm working with an artist now doing one of my variant covers. Um, James Sullivan. He just posted up a work in progress. He's like, "Can I post it?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, man! It's
Yeah,
beautiful." Just like all like the pencils, and I'm like, "Oh man, I can't wait to see it." But things like that show me like you're there, you're drawing it. You're
yeah,
not. This isn't digital, AI slop, and to each his own. But that's not that don't fly over here, and it's
yeah.
sad to see that that's kind of where a lot of a lot of projects are turning into AI projects, and it takes the fun away from it too. I mean, it takes away from artists, it takes away from creativity, but it takes the fun away from making a comic book. Like
Have,
sometimes, like I like going through all this nonsense to make a comic book.
have you
You
seen
know?
that movie trailer where the whole thing is AI and it's a real movie trailer?
Yeah, yeah. Like now, it's starting to get to the point where how do you differentiate AI from actual real work?
Yeah,
It's just Who it's intense. I try not to go there. You know what I'm saying? Just don't send me AI artwork. Like, I mean, people use it for other things. That's great. But to make a comic book, it's I kind of stand against it on
Yeah.
that point. You know what I'm saying? For artwork or something like that, like, it to me that's a no go for comic books and stuff like that. Something else maybe, who knows, but not for comic books. You gotta stay away from that too, because then if everyone's putting AI comic works together,
Yeah.
you got a lot of artists that are gonna go hungry. They're gonna they're gonna starve, because why pay you $100 a page when I could just type this out and type out a prompt and get something that I want closer to what I imagine. It's a topic I stay way away
Oh, yeah.
from.
We could
You know
talk
what I'm
about that
saying?
for
Like,
hours.
yeah, I mean, as a tool to help with certain things, I get it, but when it's your end all be all and your whole basis is just AI, it's like, no.
Yeah.
That it takes away. I'm a creative person. I love to be creative. You know what I'm saying? My stories are my words, not my words. Not an idea that AI came up with. No, these are my words. How I write it, my mispronunciations, my shitty grammar. It's going all in the comic book. So because if AI is putting that out, then they need to tweet that out a bit, because my grammar sucks. You know what I'm saying? Like, my grammar is just all over the place. But a lot of people go through Kickstarter to fund their projects, whether it's already done or they're looking to raise money. You kind of think that it's becoming oversaturated with so many people just launching a Kickstarter now. I've never done it. Originally, I've always went direct to consumer. I've never had any issues with that. I've always sold out, just going straight to the customer. I have my website, affiliated with a bunch of resale groups and retailers and shops. So this is my first time doing a Kickstarter. So, I kind of like to dig into that with a lot of guests. Like, do you think it's just too much, or this is kind of like the best route to go?
I mean, being a indie creator, because I don't have the ability of having my comic book in a lot of comic book shops right now, and don't really have
Mm-hmm.
that many people interested in it. So it's useful in kind of like, especially help funding it, because other doing
Mm-hmm.
self-funding, I got to the point where I was working 100 hours a week, hadn't had a day off since October, and I was
Mm-hmm.
just like, I need something to help fund. But yeah, sometimes people do go overboard with the Kickstarter stuff, and
Yeah.
emails that I've gotten where people like they're just demanding attention. I'm like, I can't talk to
Mm-hmm.
you, man. Like, I get you're interested in the Kickstarter, but like, keep it simple with the questions that you're asking me.
Oh wow, I didn't even think about that part. So people actually message you and ask questions about the comic. Never
Yeah.
thought about that. Never came up before. Now you just gave me something else to really stress about.
Oh, there's a lot of scammers on Kickstarter too.
Oh, I
You'll
can only
get
imagine.
you'll get people that they'll like first day they'll send you $500 and then
Mm-hmm.
pretend to be Kickstarter support and be like, hey, so and so just sent you
Mm-hmm.
$500. This is a scam. We need to verify your email, password, phone number, yada yada. And it's like, no, I'm not.
No, that's crazy. Yeah, let
Yeah.
me get your social, because we
Yes.
feel someone may have fraudulently sent you money. And that's shitty, because we're all trying to just do our thing, and then you
Yeah.
got these people, they're just trying to make a quick buck, and I'm pretty sure a lot of them are successful, because we kind of fall into the shit. And I mean, and they make it look official.
Yeah.
Like, their scams, sometimes it's hard to tell. Like, Jesus, is this really coming from PayPal or Kickstarter or something like that? And it's just, it sucks, man. Like, just leave us alone. Like,
Yeah.
let's just
We're
do our thing. Like, it's
Go after
crazy.
the rich people that make so much money off the
Hmm.
little person. Don't go after the little
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. Like, one thing I noticed when I had recently put up an ad looking for a cover artist, right? Got your in the groups. I got a ton of responses,
Yeah.
as one would when they put up something like that. But what I noticed, I was getting emails. I never received emails before
Yeah.
when I put up a post like that. Where people are like, oh, we can't. I'm like, no, they're not emailing me. This is fishy. Now they're scamming like that too. Like you're reading posts and now you're sending emails and scams. It's too much. It's too much. I can't. It makes me not want to communicate with people unless I know them. You know what I'm saying? It's horrible. It's horrible. Like I'm dealing with this one artist where in the beginning I'm like, you seem very scammy. But there was something I was like, he's not scammy.
He's
So
just
I
weird.
was like, yeah, like I could have put my finger on it, but I was like, I'm not giving you nothing up front.
Yeah.
I'm not even sending you $5. You know what I'm saying? You show me this is real, and I have no problem sending you money through PayPal, goods and services. You know what I'm saying? Only way. And couple pages later, I'm like, all right, I guess he wasn't scamming me. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you got to be cautious. I lost $5,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to fool me 10 years later. I feel like I know better or should know better. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. You can't help people. They're always going to try to make a quick buck off your hard work, man. And it sucks. But like, do you plan to try to get your stuff into comic books? I mean, I know now I see a lot of shops that are starting to take in indie books, which I think is great because I feel like the best books are on the indie market right now. Is that something you try to pursue later on?
Yeah, I'm trying to do it right now. It's just like trying to figure out how to, because I have figs mostly in Colorado, and I think 10 different comic book shops. But then also keeping on top of that, trying to get in other comic book stores across America. I'm trying to message, who made Spawn? Image Comics. I've been trying to get with Image Comics to make figs a part of that universe, but they are really hard to get into.
Oh yeah. I would assume like the big ones, you know, Image, Marvel, DC.
Yeah.
It's probably gonna be the equivalent to like pulling teeth to get in there. But you know, it may be cool. Me personally, what I've written so far, they can't. I don't care how much you're offering. I feel like once I give it to you, y'all gonna screw it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want something fresh? I got stories all day I can sell y'all. But what I've put out so far, no, that's coming straight through me and nobody else. I don't care how much money you're putting up. I feel like once you get into that, they're gonna ruin your, you know, what you had envisioned for your story, you know, and for you know, someone who spent so many years tweaking it out and writing it. You don't want that to happen, you know, regardless of how much they pay. I mean, I wouldn't. I don't. You know, I put too much work into this. I don't want someone to screw up the concept of what I'm doing. I'd be so upset.
That's what I hear a lot from like people that work with DC and Marvel is they pay amazingly well, but they are so controlling over your comic book and your own life. Apparently, they tell you how you have to dress in your own home and be on a Zoom call while you work.
Not me. This is what you get. If you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you, but I ain't changing for nobody. You know what I'm saying? My story is my story. How I dress is how I dress, which shouldn't. I hate that. Oh, you got to dress a certain way. Why? You know what I'm saying?
Why do I have to wear a
what
suit?
I'm wearing? It shouldn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't matter. Oh, it's professional. Yeah, in the 60s, in the 70s. Come on. Or this is a new time. Like, we all just want to chill and relax and not be, you know, feeling like we're, you know, suit and tie and got to be proper and all that. Nah, man. I just want to, listen, that doesn't determine how the work I put out. I will do better work sitting here in my drawers, writing, than I'm going to do in a 3-piece suit. You know what I'm saying? Like, no way. I'm home. Who's going to see me? You know what I'm saying?
One thing you notice too, like I imagine it's probably the same way as you, when you give your artists time and space for them, and especially their own creativity to make the images or the pages, there's so much love that goes into the work that you can see it. Like, this is so much better than you have 2 days to draw me this page. This is how I want it done.
Yeah, no, I give them time because I also try not to put pressure on me to get things done in a certain time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So, you know, if I'm starting a project now, I'll release it in 6 months. You know, if you can't finish it in 6 months, then that's a different problem. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, if you can't draw me these 20 pages in 6 months, that's different. You know what I'm saying? That's just a whole other issue. But if you take a week, 2 weeks, I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of work, especially it's not just a cover. You're doing all these panels, all these details, and I feel like it always comes out. It comes out on point. Like there's very little. So far, I've had very little changes I needed to make because I gave them that time. They got to sit with the script.
yeah.
They didn't go, oh man, I got 48 hours to get this done. No, they put it in the work. They're taking their time. So when I see it, it's like, oh, this is great. Move on to the next one. This is great. Move on to the next one. Like you nailed it. You nailed it. And that's why I give them that creative freedom because, like I said, I'm not an artist. You're the artist. If I knew how to draw, I'd be doing this myself. But
Yeah.
let me the same way I put my vision into the story, put your flair into it, man. I want people to see your artwork too. It's not just about my writing and the story. I want people to be like, "Wow, who drew this?" Like when I just saw your Kickstarter, I'm like, "Wow, the artwork is great." I want the artist to shine as much as me. You know what I'm saying? Because without you, there is no me. You know what I mean?
It's a team.
So I want them, yeah, I want them to shine just as much. So who knows? Maybe they may get some good business. Maybe Marvel or DC will hire them, and they get, and they get some recognition off of that. But I want y'all to just do what y'all do. I do what I do, and we'll come together and do what needs to be done. Plain and simple. I don't know how simple it is. More any simpler than that. You know what I mean? Just do you, and then we'll see what works. And that's how I try to work with all my artists. I'm never up their ass. Never up their ass. But like I said, if a month goes by, what are you doing? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, do you want this money or not? Because I could easily find someone else that could do it. You know? But what can you do? You know what I'm saying? It determines how hungry you are as an artist, because you want to make money, you want to make this a business. No one really wants to work 9 to 5 all day.
Yeah.
I would love to sit here and just make stuff. You know what I'm saying? I would just love to sit here and make stuff all day. You know what I mean? But getting back to Figs, man, and Overkill. Like, what do you have planned? Well, Figs, I know you got like a whole 40 plus issues going with that. But anything else that you're gonna be publishing aside those two for now, or you're just gonna continue on with those?
Those two are my main focus right now. If I ever get time, I would like to probably work on a actual book idea that I kind of have. But
Okay.
me having ADHD, I gotta be like, okay, one thing at a time. Because even with Figs, I was like
Hmm.
seeing that Overkill. I'm like, I'm just gonna get started on Overkill, do two projects at once. Slightly regretting
Oh, it
that because my
sucks.
my my bank account is just declining. I'm like, ugh.
It sucks when you start doing multiple projects at the same time, but it I'm not- it sucks, but it's a good feeling.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like right now, I've got like 3 projects going at the same time. My brain is like all over the place. But once I start to see, like, I just knocked out one, and now I'm already like involved in the next one. And by the time that, I just like to be consistent because it's all about consistency. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? If you take a year to drop a comic, who's gonna remember you? You know what I'm saying? It's not something they're gonna really want to invest in. But if you knocking something out every 3 to 4 months, that on an indie scale, that's a good thing. It keeps them engaged, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to have a new Kickstarter out every 3 months. Every 3 months, just get it going, get it going, get it going. But it drives me up a damn wall. It drives
yeah.
me up a wall. It
It's
drives
so
me up
much
a
work
wall.
creating that Kickstarter, and it's
I gotta actually, I have my Kickstarter open because I was messing with it earlier, and I'm like, you know what, I don't even want to deal with that today.
you're like, let me
Like, I'm
double
still
check
waiting on two
everything.
more covers. Yeah, like I still got 2 more covers I'm waiting for, and so I could, launch the pre-launch thing and get all that going. But even then, I'm like, do I have enough? Is this gonna be? Am I gonna make enough? Like I'm keeping my goal low because the comic's done. Essentially, it's because the money is to really print it out. You know what I'm saying? And whatever's left over, fund the next one. Like it's so I do the lettering. It's 100% knocked out. So it's just the thought can be overwhelming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just nerve wracking. Like I said, I've always just went direct to consumer. I never had to raise money. So I'm just like, oh my God, what if I don't raise anything?
Yeah, even if you raise just like $100, that still helps.
Yeah, I want to, like I said, if I could, my goal is to reach my goal. That's
Yeah.
why I'm keeping it low. I know people that go in thinking, oh, I want to raise like $5,000. I'm like, good luck.
Yeah.
Wish you all I hope you do. But it's sometimes that's not realistic. I mean, I've seen it. I've seen $100,000 campaigns. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow, I want that following, but sometimes that's not realistic to the new up and comer. You know what I'm saying?
You got to
So
build that
I
following
keep it
base
low.
first.
Yeah, and even that, I'm pretty sure, that you've ran into some headaches just building up your following because that takes a lot of work in
Gosh.
itself.
I spent
How did that work out for you trying to build up your fan base?
It's still tough. I spent $200 on advertising Facebook and TikTok. Lo and be What's in
Okay.
your mouse? Sorry, my dog. Okay, phone. My dog chews on stuff. Got to make sure she's not chewing on anything. But come to realize that with TikTok and Facebook, when you pay for advertising, they no longer push your stuff out. So they expect you to keep paying for
Yeah.
advertising. So I'm like, well, how do I beat that now? Like, did I just dig myself in an accidental hole?
To me, it's all about being consistent. You
Yeah.
gotta constantly post, especially like when you start getting into TikTok. Now you gotta start like making videos of some sort. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's like an image with a song on it, it's not like Facebook. You could throw up a picture and some words. Like it. Now you gotta start putting work into making
Yeah.
content, and I've been slacking on my TikTok. You know what I'm saying? But
Hey,
I
guilty.
try to, and it's funny because I use TikTok more, but I don't post as much on there now than I used to. Before I was always on making so much content, but now I'm focusing on Facebook, and I feel like I'm losing sight of the other ones. I really don't do Instagram that much outside personal, you know. But even that, I need to start getting into because you gotta be all over the place. TikTok, Facebook,
Yeah.
Instagram, whatever the hell, all that. You know what I'm saying? Put it on MySpace if they still exist. Like you just gotta be everywhere and consistent because that's what's gonna bring in the numbers and the viewers is consistency. Because after a while, they're just like, why do I keep seeing this? Who is this? What is this? Let me look. And then it's like, oh wow, this is dope. And it's a headache. It's a headache, and it just drives me insane sometimes.
It was
You
like,
know?
I'm just one man doing the work of so many people.
Yeah, yeah. All these big companies, Marvel, DC, Image, they got teams. They got big, big $1 million budgets with just one, two, three, four people. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're by yourself, you gotta be the creator. You gotta be the publisher. You gotta be the marketer. You've gotta be everything, and that could be that could be a lot. That could be a lot, especially that could bring a lot of stress. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you handle wearing all those hats?
I mean, I'm just a workaholic, so I just
Mm-hmm.
keep myself distracted. And then when I have free time, which I hate, I'm either
Mm-hmm.
riding my motorcycle, hanging out with my dog, or drinking, heavily drinking, like a whole bottle of whiskey while just writing down more. And I'm like, no one's gonna read this. Everyone hates it.
I feel you. I feel you on that. Yep. I'm sit here sometimes got a little something to sip on, you know, I got a little smoke going on, and I'm just like, oh, I hope people like this. Like, I hope people outside of people that I know like
Yes.
this. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like I put in a lot of work, so please like it. Like it, please.
And it's so rewarding too when you have people that you don't even know, they message you or because I got an
Yeah.
Etsy and I'll wake up at 2 a.m. to Etsy doing that cha-ching, you made a sale. I'm like, okay, let me just put this order together. I know USPS isn't going to pick it up till 3 p.m., but let me just make it and then go back to bed.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, man. That feeling, especially when it's a stranger,
Oh,
you know, buying even this one book, man. That to me, that's the reward, and it makes me feel so much better with all the nonsense that I've had to go through, all the content creating, all the hours at spent that night in front of this computer or on my phone just to get some attention. It's a great feeling just to hear that cha-ching or someone messaging you like, hey, where can I get your stuff? Like, do you ship international? Like, especially when you get international, it's like, wow, people really digging me so far away. I had this one person hit me up from Africa, South Africa, one time. Like, I want your books. Like, do you ship out here? I'm like, yeah. You bought like a couple of issues. This was years ago, and that to me, I was like, that's insane. Like, I'm in New York. How the hell did you see that in Africa? I'm like, oh man, we get. I'm in all the groups, and I love to read comics. And I'm just like, wow, out of all the people, you hit me up like I like your stuff.
yeah.
I can't compare that feeling to anything else. I really can't.
And
I really can't.
that's so much more rewarding because then it's outside
Yeah.
of your own country. So it's like, it feels international at that
Mhm.
point. I haven't gotten to that
Yeah,
point
yeah.
yet, but
You start. I feel that's where the ego comes too, because I had a big ego that night. Once I saw that, I'm like, that's right.
yeah.
I'm international now.
You go to like a
Because
local grocery store. You're like, no one knows, but
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
into.
yeah. Like they know me.
Yeah.
The world knows me. Even when you go to have you done any cons, any conventions, anything like that?
No, I've never been to a Comic Con. I do have a booth for Colorado Springs. The only thing though, I was looking
Okay.
at all the guests that are appearing, and it's mostly from was it the Has Been Hotel? Which I guess so. Like, it's a
Okay.
cool show. I've never seen it, but I'm like, fans of
hmm
that are not going to be interested in Figs or Overkill, but
You'll be
I'm gonna try.
surprised. You'll be surprised. Trust me. I I used to think like that. I've had tables at places I didn't think I would have a table. You know what I'm saying? I just did it because either it was affordable or it was
Yeah.
I got a free table or something like that. And you'd be surprised. People come up and they're just like, hold on. I like and then next, they're just really getting into your stuff. And I've made a lot of money that way. And it just, at the end of the day, just blew my mind because I didn't expect to even make $50, but I'm walking away with like 500 because they loved what they saw. That artwork, that first impression. I always tell people, man, that cover is important.
Yeah.
You gotta have a good cover because it's not like you're sitting there with your book wide open. They're looking at the cover. That's gonna be that's the pretty girl walking by or whatever. Like, oh wait, let me do a second look. Hold up, and now they're picking it up, and then the interiors are complimenting the cover, and it's like, okay, how much? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm invested and I want this. And I like doing cons. I've had some good experiences. People that follow me that don't even live in my state, they're like, oh man, I'm glad you're here. I want to get some stuff, and it's just like, wow, that's a cool feeling. Like, that is a cool feeling. Like, you don't know these people. You're in a state you're not familiar with, but they know you. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, Mal. Oh, what's up? You got that blah, 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 blah. It's a rewarding feeling. Sometimes it rewards more than the money sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, it helps you continue, in my opinion.
And being noticed and recognized. I haven't had that
Yeah.
experience yet, and I don't even know how I'm socially awkward. So if someone's like, "Oh my gosh, I love your work," like, I like your hair.
Yep.
I'm bald.
Can't- Get used to it, man. Like I said, from what I see here, you're gonna have a lot. You're gonna have a lot more people coming to your table than you expect you're gonna have, man. Especially if this is what you're putting out. Oh yeah, like expect a lot of people to come up to you and just say, "Wow, what is this? Tell me about this. This is dope. What am I looking at?" Yeah, because you definitely got something cooking with this. 100%, 100%.
Thank you.
Trust me. Like I'm gonna put a pledge in right after this video too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's gonna work. It's definitely I definitely see something popping off with this. Like you said, it's very dark. The artwork is the style of the artwork, but just the little hints of color in the blood or reflection. That's chef kiss, man. And you've got an artist that has worked with bigger publications. That alone is a good look because their fans become your fans.
And one thing I always tell
You
my
know what I'm saying?
artists too is you have experience in this. If you have an idea or a tip, I'm all ears.
Yeah,
And there was one page
exactly.
in issue number 2 where it's a little girl, she's tied up in the attic, and I wanted to be look a certain way, and he showed me like, hey, what if we do this instead? And it really shows the entire
Yeah.
attic and just how
Hmm.
lonely she was in that scene.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, and that's why I give them that creative freedom because, I'm not an artist. I know what I wrote, but you know how to bring that to life. And if you've done this, you've got a lot of experience. You know what's gonna work better than I do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you because you've done it. You've done it plenty of times. You've made some money, so you have a better idea on how that panel or that page or that cover is gonna look with the idea that I'm going for. Same thing with that cover that I'm working on with James Sullivan. I had a different kind of outlook for the cover, and what he showed me, I'm like, this is even better than what I thought. You know what I'm saying? This is a lot, but he was like, try this direction. Went with it. I love it. This is forget what I thought. This is this is you took my
Yeah.
idea and you made it work so much better than I thought it was gonna work out. So yeah, that's why I give them that freedom. You're the artist. Show me what you got.
I'm
You
curious
know what I'm
too
saying?
if it's the same for you. When the artist sends you the work, do you forget that you're reading your own story that you wrote?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Sometimes, especially when you're getting like a fully completed page back, like if you're working with a colorist and they give you like now you got all that detail and you're just like, wow. Oh wait a minute, this is mine. Like what
Yeah.
am I? Like this is you kind of forget in that moment. It's just like this is something that you wrote, and I'll have to go back to the script sometimes just to. Because there's no words on it yet. I'm
Yeah.
just like, oh wait, no, this is accurate. This is it. Yeah, this is dope. Oh man, I can't believe this is coming together. That's how it was for my first comic book. I had no words, man. Like I was just like, wow, I made this. You know what I'm saying? And it's a great feeling. And then when you finally have it in your hand and then you open it, it's just like, wow, okay, we're here. We're in this now. There's no turning back. But that's just the way it is, man. I love this game. I love this hustle, and I like being creative, man, and that's why I like talking with artists and writers and creators, man. I just love to just dig into your creative process and what y'all got going on because this is what I like to do, man. I love this world. It's too crazy outside. Let's just make stuff.
Occasionally, with all the new stuff going on, you just need to sit back, read a book or a comic
That's
book,
it.
and enter fairy
That's
tale
it.
world.
That's it. Because everything else outside seems outrageous enough as it is. So let me get lost in something familiar. You know what I'm saying? Something that I like. Let me find a new artist, a new comic book. That's why I love the indie scene. There's no, I've heard someone say, there's the indie scene is too oversaturated. I'm like, that's impossible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's too many stories. There's too many stories, and there's too many great stories. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the best stuff right now is within the indie community. You know what I'm saying? All the crazy comics I've come across. I'm like, wow, this is. I don't know why All Eyes aren't here when they should be. You know what I'm saying? Like, the majors, they just keep recycling
God.
what they have. They just like. Don't get me wrong. I love Batman. I love Superman. I love Spider-Man.
It's the
I love
same
all that.
story every time.
Yeah, like I love all those, and I'm gonna always love them. But give us something new. I feel like because they're so big, the risk of doing something different. They just don't want to risk it. Too many people are sensitive. They don't want to touch on certain subjects. No, sometimes the world is an ugly place. Sometimes you got to be ugly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, take a risk it. I got a saying. I say risk it for the biscuit. You know what I'm saying? Like, do something different, and then you're gonna see how big your pockets get. You think they're big now? Try something different. Stop giving me the same story 70 times over and over. Like, I get it. I know how this character became. You don't have to tell me a million times how Batman became Batman. You know what I'm saying? Like, and don't get me wrong, I'll read it, but that's because I'm invested already. I spent my whole life reading these comic books. Of course I'm gonna read them, but give me something different. Give me something new. Give me something that I wouldn't expect Marvel or DC to put out. You know what I'm saying? Like, focus on us. We got we got the ingredients. They're all right here on the indie scene. You know what I'm saying? We got the new, we got the fresh, we got the exciting, and we got the controversy. You know what I mean? I love the controversy. 100%.
That's what I love about us indie creators.
Yeah, like, especially when you're not afraid to write about something. Like you said, the first, like, 15 pages of one of the next issues is just some chick dying. No one would do that. Marvel ain't doing that. DC ain't doing that. Image ain't doing that. But we can do that. You know what I'm saying? Because what do we have to lose? Not a damn thing.
And I saw that too. Like, Marvel and DC, they would actually, I saw it in Daredevil recently, where this girl, she was hooked up, losing blood. She's like dying. And then Daredevil comes in, gives her CPR, and she comes back to life. And I'm like, you have to. Because when you do that over and over and over again, the audience is going to be like, he's going to bring her. Oh, he brought her back. Still, Daredevil's still not going to kill. Die. Yeah. And then you
let him die sometimes.
And like, the other thing too, when they do let a character die, it's like if he just arrived 5 seconds earlier. No, when Jason finds her body, it's a month, so she is decaying, and that's what it's going to hit.
And that's what's dope about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're writing what you want to write. You're not focusing on the risk, because who cares? This is what I want to write, and I'm gonna write it. You don't have to read it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to read. You should. You know what I'm saying? I encourage you to. And that's what I like about the indies, man. We could do whatever the hell we want, and it's all right. And if people don't like it, I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't, man. You don't have to read it. Don't read it. You should read it. Yeah, you'll probably change your opinion, but that's all right. I'm gonna still put it out, and I'm gonna make another one, and I'm gonna make another one after that. I'm not afraid of the repercussions behind it, and I feel like that's why a lot of the big players, they're just afraid of the backlash. But you can't please everyone. You can't. It's impossible. Trying to please everyone is how you recycle shit. You know what I'm saying? You can't please everyone. You got to do you. Be true to yourself. You're the creator. Be your true self. Write something truthful. Write something honest. Something from your heart, not what people want to see or want to read. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to make money, or this could be a movie, or we gotta PC, and we gotta hell no, I couldn't care less about any of that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna write about a crackhead. You know what I'm saying? Like it or not.
I think that'd be funny, like, writing about a crackhead who becomes a serial killer but still does crack.
Yeah, matter of fact, I'm gonna write a story about a crackhead serial killer. You know what I'm saying? And his kryptonite is sobriety. See how far that goes.
I feel like
You
that's just like the
know,
plot of The
like
Boys.
you know, the villains are trying to get him to go to rehab because
God.
that's the only way to defeat the super crackhead. You know what I'm saying? No, you know what I mean? He kills you with his fentanyl kiss. I don't fucking know,
His used
but
heroin
we
needle.
could write. Yeah, we could write things like that because who cares?
Yeah.
You could write something dope. It could be the craziest, funniest story, you know what I'm saying? But a big company won't put that out because they're just too afraid,
I think another
you
thing too
know?
is even low budget movies like Terrifier. That was like a major
Yeah,
risk, and then look how big
yeah,
Terrifier is.
exactly. Exactly. I love movies like that where, it's a risk, not even a big budget, but it becomes this whole big thing, like see what happens when you risk it. Sometimes you gotta get your feet wet. Who cares about what other people gotta say? You don't know what people want. You
Yeah.
just going by what people are saying online. Everybody always got something to say online. Who the hell cares? I couldn't care less. I really don't. Even if I had that that big $1 billion budget behind me, I'm gonna write what I write. If you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. For real, for
If
real.
if
That'll if I ever became big to that point where I could compete with the big dogs, that's gonna always be my thing. If you're not writing true to yourself, don't. I don't want you working for me. You got to be real. Keep it 100, because we're gonna take risks and chances. We jumping out of planes with no parachutes out here.
I would jump out of a
You
plane with
know.
no parachute.
Yeah, as long as somebody's there to catch me with a parachute, we're good. We're good. You know what I'm saying? But definitely. On that note, man, I want to thank you for joining us today, man.
Thank
I'm
you for
definitely
having
gonna
me.
have your links. Oh no, absolutely, man. I'm gonna have your links on the description and all that. The book is, like I said, the book is nasty. It looks dope. I can't wait to see how that scene, the killing that girl. Not that I want to see a girl get killed, but I
It
want to see how that plays out artistically, and I can't wait to see that.
it seems more
You know what
so
I'm
like
saying?
when he finds her, what he's going to do to the parents. That's what me and my artist were going over, and we're like, we
Yeah.
spent hours talking about how fun that's going to be.
Oh yeah. I'm excited to see that, and I can't wait to see that, and that's why I hope a lot of y'all out here watching or listening to this follow, man. Check out his Kickstarter. He's got something with this. This could be big right here. So make sure y'all support. Y'all got a couple days left, man, before this Kickstarter's over, and then y'all gonna miss out, and y'all gonna have to wait for the next one. But once again, man, thank you for joining us today, and I wish you nothing but tons of luck in your future, man.
Oh,
You
you as well.
definitely
Thank
got
you.
something going on, and once I get this up, I'll tag you in it, and then and you could share it, and I definitely can't wait to see the project in my hand.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much again for having me.
Ah, you're very welcome, man. On that note, man, it's your boy Mal, and I'm out. Show. I mean, what'd you expect? You already know how we do it on the show, man. Behind the panels, big shout out to Marsh, Figs. Story is wild. Make sure y'all cop yours ASAP. You know what I mean? And yeah, let's definitely show some love on that. You know what I mean? But on that note, like I said before, check out the website, villainarchives.com. And you know what I'm saying? It's your boy Mal, and I'm out. Bang, bang.